Do it, honey.
We are here live from the basement studio of Dan and Minnie's Journey, located in the heart of Bye Bye City Leyte. Well, I tell you, you could certainly tell that we're coming to you live from the Philippines when you start hearing the dogs barking and the roosters crowing and all the noise in the background. I got my fan going, I got the door open, the windows open. We're getting some air circulating in here. Welcome, everybody. 6 main people in the house. It is Monday morning around 8 a.m. here in the Philippines. Bye Bye City Leyte. Welcome. Let me bring up the chat in a second, and we're going to see who all is here. Welcome to everyone, no matter where you are, located around the globe. Canada, the United States, Australia, New Zealand, even though you still can't find New Zealand on a map. Think that's funny. Of course, it's probably Sunday evening in the United States. Yep. But you're welcome here, no matter where you are, what time zone you're in. Welcome to the live. Tobias is in the house. I'm so happy Tobias is here. Mavs is in. Coach is in the house. How's the workout going, Coach? You getting back in shape, bro? Larice is here. Anime Reyes, as always. We've got an exciting live stream going on for you today, because today we're going to be stuffing the pig. I know it sounds weird. Mike, hey Joe, where does Dan come up with this stuff? Where does Dan come up with it? Look. So we found the big pig. We found the big pig at the DIY, I think it was. Minnie said she ran into this pig, or the pig ran into her. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be transferring, the money from Cebu that we have in the little piggy into this big bad boy. Look how big it is, right? And then we'll have to bust it open, I would say the last week of November. And the person who guesses how much money is in there is going to be the winner. Winner, Christmas dinner. The whole idea, of course, is to spread a little Christmas Christmas cheer around, right? And so, I already set aside. So listen, by the time this stuff the pig thing is over with, there's probably going to be a lot of do-re-mi inside that pig. Oh my goodness gracious. We're just having too much fun. So if you go into those short videos, right, you can see that we're having loads of fun. You can see that Dan is going through his second childhood. The short videos, mostly they don't have anything that's going on with the channel. I know I'm supposed to be, consistent in order to retain and maintain my subscribership. But hell's sakes, you got to have some fun in life, right? So anyway, we're going to be drawing some numbers today for a winner. A winner here today. We're going to be drawing some numbers. I got the bingo thing ready to go, and we're not doing. Yeah, I know you guys are all thinking, yeah, Dan, are you going to do it again? Whatever's in your Gcash account is what we win. No. And you know why we can't do it that way? because unbeknownst to me, I hit my Gcash limit before I hit the 2%, fee thing. So a lot of you that have Gcash, maybe some of you don't know this, but when you put pesos up to pesos 8,000 into the Gcash in a single month, or I don't believe it's even a calendar month. It's the prior 30 days. If you're in that 30-day period, right, where you have contributed to your Gcash over the counter, pesos 8K or more, they start charging you the 2%. So that's not a problem. The 2% is not a problem for a guy like me. A little rich joke for you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm poor. I'm really poor. I'm poor. So anyway, here's the whole thing. That 2% doesn't bother you, but I'd set the budget. I'd set my monthly budget up based on when I get that alert from Gcash and it tells me, you're starting to pay that 2%. That tells me that I've hit my 8,000 budget max for giving away money. And I started looking around going, how did that happen so quickly? It's only like the 14th or the 13th of the month or so, right? And then I remembered that, oh yeah, some people that I normally would send through the PayPal account, which is a whole nother deal, right? I actually sent through Gcash this time. Oh my goodness, it's complicated. My whole life is complex. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Good morning, Charmaine's here. Anime's here. Mike married to a beautiful woman. Hey, Joe from Vallejo is in the house. Good morning to the famous Ati, Minnie, and Dan. Yeah, she realizes that she's becoming a Facebook and YouTube superstar because she's starting to get a lot of requests on her Facebook page. Do you know this person? Do you know this person? Are they one of yours? Are they one of yours? Honey, they're our fans. Our fans. Of course, you got to join up. You got to join up on Mam Mini's side because mine is inactive. I'm not a fan of Facebook. I'm not a fan of the whole meta thing. I'm not a fan, but it's inevitable that we'll be using these social media platforms to conduct our daily lives. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, hey, how about this? Philippines being a Catholic Christian country, I had a thought I'd like to share about that, and that is that you can completely attend Mass. I realize you can do it now this way, right? I think this threatens the survival a little bit of the actual physical churches because you won't need to actually go there to the church in order to attend Mass, right? What you'd be doing is you would be firing up your Meta software, your Facebook, or you'd be going to YouTube and there being broadcast, or even an internet website, even though that's a little bit old school, you'd be going to a stream like you are here, right? And that stream, you would be attending Mass. I wonder if they would take attendance. I mean, if you think about it, it would be easy to see whether you attended Mass or not because they could just say, all in attendance, click the button to the right. And then you just get your mouse point. And then you would click it and then you'd get, I don't know, you'd get points. Maybe you'd get points. You'd get points. And then at the end of the year, they would send you a treat for attending Mass. You didn't miss any masses or religious celebrations in the entire year of 2023. We're rewarding you with points. Maybe it'll be a Jollibee gift card. It could be a Jollibee gift card that you receive. That would be fun. And that would encourage you, of course, to attend Mass and not skip any ceremonies because you know that you're going to be rewarded at the end of the year. Listen, I just come up with these billion-dollar ideas. They just come to me out of thin air. They come to me from above. I hear the God voice. The God voice speaks to me. Dan, Dan. Opportunity to save the church is right here, right now, on your YouTube channel. So Larice is here. Larice, it's always a pleasure. I sure miss you, Larice. I really enjoyed our meetup in Manila. The meetup in Manila. The meetup in Manila. Hmm. And Tobias, I'm glad you're here because I wanted to talk a little bit about something. Uh, who else is here? Minio, Chanzel, Alien Cruise officials here. You must have all heard that we're stuffing the pig. Crystal's Adventure. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Who else do we have here? Anna. Anna May. How many Annas do we have in here? Hey Joe. Moelma's here. Yeah, so my internet hangs up. I don't use the phone too much. Tim Desiak. Hey, I'm hearing Manila's underwater. Is anybody here from Manila? I'm hearing that there are parts of Manila that are below sea level right now. And they're trying to get all that cleaned up. They're trying to figure out some way to evacuate that water. Now I understand that they stopped the reclamation project in Manila Bay, but I haven't gotten all the details. I don't really know why they're doing it. I know that there probably is a solid scientific environmental reason as to why they put the kibosh on it, why they stopped. They stopped that reclamation project. They say until further studies are conducted, until further research is conducted. I think they found out something about the rock that they're using, or they found out something about damage that they were doing to the estuaries. Something happened that's of environmental concern. So I think the president is doing the right thing by putting it on hold until we figure out what we need to do in order to correct whatever's going on there. Joe has Joe has -2 God points. Opens a Kochek station in hell. That is so funny. That's so funny. And now you know why I like hanging around with Buena Vista Dreamin'. Mike is saying, I don't think I'm in line for church. Oh, I don't think an online church would be in the interest of the church and for financial income. But what if you could give? What if you could use Gcash and PayPal? So you have a button there, and everybody could see whether you're pushing the button or not and contributing. So it actually could, in theory, increase revenues. I'm very excited about this idea because let's say a little icon appears, right? And then your name appears on the screen once you make a contribution to the church. Dan has just contributed to the church. Everybody could see my name pop up, or it could be a screen name, but it doesn't matter. You can maintain anonymity. An anonymous donation has been made. This would encourage people, especially if you're like me. If you're a YouTube superstar, you like seeing your name in lights. A little YouTube joke there. Really, I was joking. No, no, I was only halfway joking. But then you donate. Hey, I'm going to convince everybody that I'm a church going person. I'm going to make a donation to the church today. And then boom, you hit the button. Dan just contributed. Why? And then all of a sudden there's applause. No, you're not allowed to applaud in mass. That would be bad. That would be bad form. And so no, I think it would. I think it would work, Mike. I think there's always something you could think about, and you could come up to the solution to the roadblock. The speed bump, if you will, or a speed hump, whatever they're calling it. Yeah. So Tim's here. Charmaine is hanging in there. Crystals is alive and well. I hope well, anyway. And Mike says I go to church every day. Yeah, they probably would come looking for you, Mike, if you didn't show up. They probably would come knocking on your door because they'd be looking around going, "Where's Mike? Where did Mike go? Where's Mike? He's not here. He's usually here." Somebody send someone over to Mike's house. Do it now. Make sure that he's okay. it's all good. It's all good in Denny's neighborhood. Mike married to a beautiful woman. Hard for them to hide all those cash donations. Uh, do they do that? I thought that they were exempt from taxes because they're a church. You know, the whole church thing, separation from church and all that, church and state in the case of the U.S. of A. So, man, the U.S. of A is going through it, aren't they? For crying out loud! Not only are there fires in Canada, you know, out of control fires in Canada, but we expect that, you know, because Canada's out of control. But in Maui, for crying out loud, Maui, the heart of tourism for the entire Hawaiian Islands, aside from Waikiki Beach, right? Hang 10, bro. Well, you know, what can I say? You got to protect tourism. There are people that lost their lives. We understand there are Filipinos in Hawaii that are missing, you know, and I feel we've got to get emergency aid to them as quickly as possible. But alas, I have heard, I know we don't talk about politics in this live stream. Larry's here. Uh, and that is it. Uh, they have tied the Maui rescue plan, the rescue money, to the war money, the war effort in Eastern Europe, and so one can't go without the other. So that's it. That's, you know, those are my folks. Those are the Democrats for you. You know, we're warmongers. Well, anyway, setting that part aside, that's how they're doing it. And so, unfortunately, the folks in Florida and Hawaii, they're just going to have to wait for the money because it's going to be hell. Get it? Fire, hell, trying to get the money passed. You know, underneath that setup, underneath that legislative umbrella, nobody's going to do it. Nicole is here. John Zell is here. Tobias, Larry, hi, hi, hi. And did you see the wildfire in Maui? So yeah, yeah, I know I'm lagging. The stream is lagging. So the only thing left from the fire was the church, and you see that's divine intervention, right, Tobias? So Tobias, let me talk about what's on my mind, right? And so I just want to make a you'll know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to make a general observation. That's all I'm sharing with everybody in the stream is a journal observation. Tim is saying it's serious, Dan. 70 people have died. If one person died, of course, it would be a disaster in my mind's eye. It's almost unimaginable that something like this could happen. But they're even thinking that it's domestic terrorism or international terrorism. I don't know. I've seen some ideas out there. I'm just saying you can't discount any of the ideas. All right, let's talk, Tobias. All right. When you're on YouTube and you've laid out your entire life, right? When you've laid out your entire life, all bets are off in the public arena because they could turn you into a cartoon character if they want to. They can make fun of anything that you say. I oftentimes do make fun of my own self, but I make fun of others. You know, there's certain things that other people do on YouTube that just cracks me up. But and I understand them. I mean, I'm not making fun of their ideas per se, right? But I'm reminded of when I first retired about how one of the thoughts that crossed my mind was I want to make my childhood dreams come true. And those childhood dreams still involve work. And so it's really strange that, you know, the way I started to think, oh, now I'm going to go and I was a failure at this. I was a failure at this task. It didn't work out. I want to go see if I can become a success now. It's sort of like, and you can't really critique them that much, but you certainly could make fun of them if it were easy to point a finger and say, ah ha ha ha, that's the damnedest thing, the damnedest idea that I've ever heard of. For example, right? You could point to a whole bunch of people who went back to square away their finances and they became uber successful. By the way, only to lose the money again before they died. Let me give you a couple of examples, and well, actually, a couple of them are still alive, right? I don't believe Famous Amos, the famous chocolate chip cookie guy, uh, is rich any longer. He's still alive, I believe, right? So I mean, you got Famous Amos who built the chocolate chip cookie empire and then started to sell away so many crumbs of the cookie that there was nothing left for himself. Des is here. Hi Des. Minnie Snow is in the house. Minnie Snow, what do you know? Um, but yet, so in life, he's still pounding the pavement. What is he in his 80s? What is Famous Amos in his if you're alive right now and you're able to pay your bills every month, Tim Desiak, you're a successful human being. Take it from me, I know. I know I'm a pro. You're a successful human being. Don't worry about it, right? But so you got Famous Amos trying to sell a new idea. No, he's not out there trying to sell vacation timeshares in Maui. Well, that would go over like a like a wildfire, wouldn't it? He's not doing that. He's trying to copy his formula for success by selling another product. I don't know if it's a loaf of bread or what it is, right? I'm not sure what it is. You'd have to look online. But so, in other words, they messed up. They want to go back and they want to correct that. I had the same thought. There was something that I wanted to do. It was not to start an airline. It was not to start a cruise line. It had more to do with the food industry. So I like everything around, as most people know. I like donuts. I like pizza. I like tires. So I had this thought. I mean, if you look at the tire industry, for example, if you look at the tire industry, Mike is saying it's because the grasses are not Hawaii grass, and the winds from the typhoon are pushing it faster than normal. I believe it. I believe that. Mike K. Joe, what's your superpower? So here's the whole thing about the idea. I like everything around. I noticed that vulcanizing and tire repair is very primitive here in the Philippines. The way that they're vulcanizing tire, I started thinking to myself, man, all I have to do is import some equipment from Myers Tire Supply, start buying all the rubber patches that I can get through China, right? And I could have a successful tire shop. I started thinking like that. You're talking to the guy here who didn't realize that a big gulp could make you rich. A big gulp from 7-Eleven, selling them at uh, pesos 100, the equivalent of 99 cents in American money, could make you a millionaire. But my friend got rich doing that, realizing that his shop was located right there on the pathway towards the high school, and all these kids need to be sugared up in the morning before they went to school. He figured it out. I could not figure it out. I could not figure it out. So I'm no good at business. I'll fail every single time. Jalen is here. Jalen, thank you. Mingy is here. Thanks so much for being here. Mike, married to a beautiful woman. Are you see what I'm talking about? So even today, even though I have learned from all these mistakes, and I'm the most aware um, now of my surroundings that I've ever been aware of my surroundings in my entire life. By the way, being aware of your surroundings is good. It's a good thing. In the United States and now in the Philippines, I've learned that you always have to keep your head on a swivel, especially if you're riding a trike or a bike, or you're on a hobble hobble, in a jeepney, in a taxi cab. You always have to be aware of your surroundings. By the way, who in here turns on GPS when they jump into a taxi cab? And they look to see at what the closest route is from point A to point B. And then when the taxi driver starts to make a left when he should be going making a right, do you say anything to the taxi driver? I want to know, Larry. Do you say anything to the taxi driver? What's the point of activating the GPS when you get in the cab and then not pointing out to the taxi driver that they're ripping you off by taking you the long way around? So here's what I've learned to do. Here's what I've learned to do. I've learned to turn up the volume on the GPS so that the taxi driver can hear turn left, turn right. So the taxi driver knows that I'm monitoring where we're going. Mark told me to give him hell when he does that. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so here's the thing. You have to know the whole story, and the whole thing is, I don't even think Mark does, because Mark doesn't have a dry sense of humor. He's got no sense of humor, none that I can detect. He's always walking through life, from what I've seen on YouTube, with this serious persona, and now I don't have a complaint about him. I like him. I like him well enough. And so, but the whole thing is that you can parody him. You're allowed. You can report him until hell freezes over. But the whole thing is we're talking about the pseudo or the parody that is being done on every man. Every man has a story, which I think is a brilliant title for a YouTube show. And so you always tell the driver where to go or which way to go. There's a difference, Mike. I've been pushed right out of a cab, right in the middle of a ride for something I said. He didn't even ask me for the fare. He just stopped. He pulls over to the curb. He stops the cab. He unlocks the door. And he doesn't say a word to me. He grabs my luggage and me, and he just pushes me right out into the sidewalk. And everybody that's standing there on the sidewalk in Metro Manila is laughing their ass off at me. They just saw him push my luggage out in the sidewalk and then push me out. He didn't say you owe me anything, right? But you know what I did? I took some money out of my pocket and I threw it at him. I just was like, here's your fare. We weren't getting along. Oh yeah, that's right. Hey, Joe Buena Vista Dreamin' saying that. Yeah, and I know that because he told me he got COVID from the taxi driver. He thinks the taxi driver. Yeah, you gotta work. You gotta work. Buena Vista Dreamin', Mike. Hey, Joe, you gotta work. COVID, flu. I don't know. A sniffle, sore throat. What does it mean to me? So anyway, yeah. So he can parody him. He's not a troll. Yeah, you have to go back and watch the episode. You see, the whole thing, you wouldn't know who he is because he has so many personas. But he made a joke that it was a tiny bit too intellectual for Mark, and he didn't catch it. And it happened on every woman, every woman. And so at that point, after he did that, Mark didn't get the joke, and to his discredit, he did not explain the joke to him. Mark just started, being Mark on the channel, saying, "Oh no, that's not right. You need to ban him, ban him, ban him, ban him, delete him." And I'm rolling in the living room on the ground. Does Mark know that he just made one of the best intellectual jokes they've ever heard? And I can't remember the whole thing. I can't remember the whole joke. I can't repeat it. I just remember thinking, oh, you have to know something in order to get this. And so he got miffed, and the next thing you know, he shows up, as every man repeats a story, right? And so this gives me an idea, actually, for a name. I bet you there's already a name if we're thinking about it, if Dan's thinking about it, it's already been done. Right? If Dan's thinking about it now, I'm going to tell you that the idea has already been done, right? Every man tells a lie. Hey, this is, can you imagine, you have a contest, right? And the contest is, you know, whoever tells, whoever tells the biggest lie, and you win the God points. Better name. Every man is full of bullshit. Listen, but that's funny. But here's the thing, Mike. That's funny. You see, I appreciate your sense of humor. I always have. You know, I appreciate a person who has a dry sense of humor, but dang it, Mark has no sense of humor. There's no sense of humor that I can detect. And so anyway, listen, this leads me into something else, right? It leads me wanted to talk. Crystal is laughing. Listen, this leads me into it's a good segue into another topic, right? You could see, for example, Mark is no match for Paul, old guy, new tricks. There's no comparison to be made. In the beginning, I felt like there was. I think, man, these two guys, they know what they're doing, man. They know what's going on, right? But the difference between Mark and Paul is Paul has a sense of humor. He laughs at himself. He laughs at others. He's just having a good time. I mean, when you compare the two, there's no comparison. There just isn't any comparison. Yeah, I've stayed at the Lex. I've stayed at the Lex. As a matter of fact, I really like the Lex. So Tobias, if you have an opportunity to stay at the Lex Hotel, jump on it, right? Jump on it. I changed from the Minnie loves it. Minnie loves the Lex. I just changed from the Quest Hotel and just paid for it. Okay. Well, you're going to be. You did a good job, man. I don't know how you could figure all that stuff out from the comfort of your own home. Anyway, you know, providing that you're not going to hammer me for loving the parody that he does, because everybody that knows, I think you're the only person that doesn't know him. I know people, they either like him or they hate him, or they have no opinion. But the thing is, he's funny as hell to me. And Yumi, she's been hanging in there with us. Yumi knows exactly what's going on. I don't know how close she is to Mark, or following his channel or any of this stuff, but Yumi just kills me. She is so damn funny. Yes, I think, therefore I am. Yes, but the whole point of that is, Mike, is that you have to think. You can't just have a blank. There's nothing there. I got nothing. So here, listen, okay, here's the whole thing. Are my views tanking? Well, no, and that's the reason why is because I don't have any views. So I'm not out there, oh man, my views are tanking. But yeah, it's true. Once I discovered that short videos were the way to go in order to build subscribership base and have fun. I mean, really have fun. I'm having fun now. But I mean, you could have, the sky's the limit on fun, right? The short videos was the way to go. And now I'm getting my view counts through the short videos. Oh my God, I just can't imagine. You should see my stats. My stats are going through the roof. It's incredible what's happening. I mean, it just blows me away. And so I don't have to, what? You mean I don't have to sit here talking about the Philippines every single day? Although I enjoy doing it. Let's talk about the Philippines, though. Yeah, I just pay. Oh my God, you got a steal of a deal, and that's the point here, Tobias. The point here is that prices are going down because no one's showing up. No one is showing up now. The 30, 60, 90 days from now, we're going to find out about it. We're going to hear the story on the news. So you got a really, really good deal there. I think I paid $60 or $70 a night to stay there. Man Meeting and I stayed there for a week, right? Dan, if you have to think, you can count me out. Yeah, exactly. Think is not part of this. It's not required. But you have to know when you have an opportunity to make fun of someone. That's the whole thing. For example, anyway, my feelings do get hurt. By the way, on occasion, believe it or not, I'm not made of stone. I'm just a human being. I'm just a human being, just like everybody else. But I don't think about things for very long. If somebody like launches insults at me, I'm like, okay. But you're fair game. That's the whole thing. You're fair game. Once you step into this public arena, all bets are off. People can do whatever they can do, whatever they want, whatever is allowed. Because you're the one sharing your story. It's so easy to make fun of me. I just laugh. It's so easy. But anyway, that's what I wanted to say. Expat trashed a video on Old Dog when he interviewed a sex worker from Duma. Oh boy, I know, I know, I know. It's sad. It saddens me. I was going to talk a little bit about that, quite frankly, but I don't think I will. I don't think I will. It's hard. It's hard to beat the views that he got when he did that video series. When on the expat that had no money, that came over to the Philippines with $38,000, thinking it was going to last him 10 years. That whole thing. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it to a point. I enjoyed the first couple videos, and then they were just passing the poor guy back and forth, talking about trying to trying to extract as many views as they possibly could, and they got. I'll bet they got more than 1 million views off of that whole thing. You remember what I'm talking about? The poor SOB that ran out of money, gave it all to his girlfriend's family, had children with them. Folks, you don't have to have kids with every woman that you sleep with. That's not a requirement for that. I do apologize if I offended anyone making that statement. I apologize. I don't know where that came from. Self-insurance. There you go. You're self-insured is the best way to go, because none of the insurance. Listen, you can go to that expat guy and pay $1 million. The one on Facebook that everybody touts and celebrates, and get the most comprehensive insurance in the world if you want. But you're going to pay for it, and then once you turn age 60, you get this big fat bill saying that, oh, Dan, now that you've reached the limit on your age. Yeah. So this whole thing, as far as health insurance, it's not worth even approaching, because I've already done all the research on this. There's you can't go that way, man. You can't go that way. Let me tell you what I got though, Mike. I don't have to make a video on it or another one, because I have done it before. But the supplemental insurance that is tied into my Medicare pays for hospitalizations over here. So there you go. I'm insured here, and my buddies that are living in Bangkok right now, they're insured by Kaiser, and they are also 100% insured if they end up being admitted into a hospital in Bangkok. So we're covered. We're covered. And so the whole thing is, if you have like for example. I had a friend who had a cardiac event. He had a heart attack, and behold, he went straight to the hospital. Kaiser covered everything. So I looked into expat insurance that is provided by. Yeah. I have their supplemental policy, and I can't even think of their name. I have the supplemental policy because they offer the best. Cigna Health. They offer the best supplemental policy for cheap that you can buy. $90 per month is what I pay. It's married to my Medicare system, and Cigna is the #1 international health insurance in the world. But I'm going to tell you something: you'll find everything you're looking for in that, but you're going to pay for it. And the age thing doesn't come into play, you know. But here in the Philippines, if you buy a peso policy, a dollar policy, like as Steve tells you to do over at the information channel, it is, in my opinion, it's only my opinion we're talking about here. It's worth nothing. It's worth a big pile of dog dung. You know, it's worth absolutely nothing. You know, he touts how he pays, whatever it is, $150 a month for $30,000 worth of insurance that doesn't cover anything. You know, so the whole thing is, yeah, it acts as a buffer. It'll get you in the door of the hospital without having you to pay a deposit. But so I had a friend who had a heart attack, another friend um, here on the island of Leyte, and his total coverage for being attended to for his heart problem turned out to be his total hospital bill, ambulance transportation, and the whole thing. You know, at one of the finest hospitals that the island of Leyte has to offer was $2,600 American. It's all up to you. Filipina Raquel is in the house. There's a slight delay on my internet chat. I'm sorry about that. I just saw you. Mostly Filipinos don't have insurance. Yeah, and so if you want to live like, you know, like the rest of the population, then that's how you do it. Yeah. So this is the other thing, and this is the route that I go. What Mike at Hey Joe Buena Vista Dreaming is suggesting, and this is what the plan is. PhilHealth get you in the door of the hospital. All you have to do is show your PhilHealth card, and boom, you're good to go. And so PhilHealth, yeah, PhilHealth won't pay. They're going to pay for 30% or so. But the whole thing is, as Filipina Raquel is mentioning here, PhilHealth, but sometimes they don't recognize it. They just want money, money, money. Yes, it's true. But they can't refuse you admittance to the hospital. All you have to do is call the number on the back at PhilHealth or call your connects. That's what we do, call the connects. And they say, hey, you know you have to admit that person. And then they'll threaten them saying, if you don't admit them, we're going to cancel your PhilHealth contract. They're talking about hospital-wide. They'll say, we'll make sure that you never are able to see another PhilHealth customer. They threaten them, see? So then they'll admit you without the deposit. See what I mean? But most of the time, you're still going to have to put up money. But the PhilHealth card gets you in the door. It'll get you in the door, but it won't get you necessarily the care that you need. It just gets you in the door without having to go through all the bureaucratic crap, you know, like pay before you enter. But I'm sure what Filipina Raquel is saying is absolutely true, you know, and that is that they'll still give you a hassle, and then you'll have to go to another hospital where they won't give you a headache. I have a bone sticking out of my leg, and I want to get admitted ASAP. Yeah, well, here in the island of Leyte, you wouldn't do it by going to the hospital here. You'd be calling the cab, and you'd be saying, take me to the doctor's hospital on the hill in Ormo. So you wouldn't be even calling for an ambulance, even though you may know the ambulance driver and have his cell phone number. You wouldn't be doing it that way. You just call if you have to, you call the trike driver and you say, can you take me to the hospital in Ormoc? And they will do it for you. Yeah, they'll take you. So, been there, been that. That is why and how we save for rainy season. That's the reason why you do that. And Filipina Raquel is absolutely right about that. That's why the big push on YouTube channels is to make sure that everybody says it, and I'm saying it too. Make sure that you have the fund ready to go when you get here. Yeah, what does the hospital do if you can't pay after you've been admitted with PhilHealth? Well, in the case of a Filipino, it works the same way that it would with any other social welfare issue, and that is that you go to they give you the application, you go see the barangay captain, and they authorize the payment for the hospital bill because you cannot pay. You have to prove to them you don't have the money to pay, and then it comes under the social welfare system of the Philippines. But it is a very complicated system sometimes, and it takes a little bit of time, but you can get it done. And so long as they're behind you and you have a letter of intent from the barangay captain, they'll let you flee the hospital without paying. An expat, you better have the cash to pay. Ride my Carabao to Ormoc, exactly. You have to have your three-wheeler ready to go. So we're working on that, Mike. We could have a more detailed conversation about that. But yeah, of course, a lot of thought has to go into that. So Mike is saying, what does a hospital do if you can't pay after you've been admitted with PhilHealth? Well, they're not going to allow it to go so far, Tobias. They're not going to allow that to go that far. They'll just say, hey, okay, you're in the hospital with PhilHealth. How you going to pay the rest of the bill? They'll want to know where the money's coming from. So you have to have a credit card in your back pocket, or you have to have cash ready to go. And how much should you have? It's up to you. But I gave you sort of like an idea by telling you my friend had a heart problem. I mean, a serious one, and he ended up being taken to Ormoc because they don't have facilities to deal with, doing EKGs and all that stuff here in Bye City. You have to get on a horse and you have to ride to Carabao, as Buena Vista Mike says, and then you have to get to Ormoc. What does the hospital do if you can't pay? If you can't pay, you're going to be a prisoner of war, I'm afraid. You'll have to call all your friends. This is where having friends really comes in handy. Yeah, but of course, if you've alienated all your friends like I have, there's nobody really to call. And so you just have to, I would call Filipina Raquel. You just have to save your money, bro, and have a couple of credit cards ready to go, because they'll take credit cards, cash. They're not picky. They will take your firstborn child. The security will not let you leave. That's just a fact of life. They won't. Yeah. Hey Joe, will you do PhilHealth as a door pass and self-insure for the rest? Yeah, that's a question. You know, but if you want, go ahead and buy a peso plan for $150 or $200 a month. For $30,000 worth of coverage, and that'll take care of it too. At 100, your bill, Mister Man, is $350. Oh, my insurance will pay, and then you realize that you've already paid 24 months worth of insurance. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I know people have it. I know people do it. I know a lot of people follow Steve's advice, but don't come here with safety wings, unless it's just for the first couple of weeks. You want insurance that's going to bridge you, right, until you turn age 65. Then I suppose that safety wings is a good way to go for accident insurance. But what if you end up being admitted to the hospital and and it's not an accident? It's not an accident in that's covered underneath safety wings. So you have to really do your homework on this. But self-insure, if you got 5 or 10 grand hanging around in your savings account, you're probably good to go. They require a lot of paperwork before they will cure you. That's absolutely true. But as soon as they see the cash in an expat's pocket, believe me, we're just going to bypass all that paperwork and we're going to get you in the OR right now, Mr. Dan. Yeah. Well, I'll let you know exactly how it turns out. But I've already given you my hospital visitation, my initial experience with that at Doctor's Hospital in Cebu, and it was great. I have no complaints. It's better than any U.S. hospital that I've ever been in. So, including Kaiser, although Kaiser would be a close match to what I experienced there. Yeah, they're going to keep you, and the expenses gain high, so you can't leave. Yeah, they'll keep piling on. They'll keep piling on charges for your room, for you. Yeah, they're going to charge you for being there. Yeah, they'll hostage is a little bit too powerful of a characterization, I would say. Hey, Dodger Blue is here. Dodger Blue's in the house. No credit card, sure. They like cash. Yeah, they like the cash because they want to. They don't want to have to report, the income. Yeah, I know all this stuff happens. All the stuff that Filipina Raquel and the rest of you are talking about, it happens. Tim is saying my hospital hospitalization in February wasn't too bad. They even gave me the senior citizen discount. That's always nice, Tim. It's always nice when you don't have to ask for it, but you see it on the bill. It's very, very pleasing to see that. Philippines is they can be very, very respectful and honorable that way. If the mayor or barangay captain knows the Filipino has an American boyfriend, may not pay. They may not. It is true, they may not. And that is why you have to invite them over to the house. Yeah, often. You have to have people over, and you have to get to know them, because they're the ones that are going to be providing the life-saving measures when you need them. And I really mean that. I really mean that. You have to. The way it works is you network. Networking is important. You network with the powers that be, and it makes your life run a whole hell of a lot smoother, folks. I have some information to share with you. I'm glad we're talking about this, because uh, being friends to everybody is the key here, and not showing the occasional um, American annoyance with the system of things will be very, very helpful. It's going to be very, very helpful. For example, uh, your main issue for expats moving over here to the Philippines, all those things that we've talked about today, they're important. Don't get me wrong, they're very important. They should be very, very high on your priority list. But the thing that I've learned here is that the people that you got to watch out for are the expats, especially the ones that retired from circuit, especially the ones that retired from Walmart and Montgomery Wards and Kmart and those places that no longer exist, and they're surviving and thriving on the $1,000 a month in retirement fund that they have, and also their Social Security. There's nothing wrong with that. But the whole thing is, they're the guys that are going to give you grief. Yeah, the guys who proclaim to be the conservatives. See, I should have kept. I cannot and will not be tamed or contained. I am a wild man. I'm a wild man. I revealed all to you here on this channel. I'm not only a wild man, but I'm immoral and I'm a sinner. So, but the thing is that I'm also liberal in my thinking. I know I'm not as liberal as Mike. I'm not as liberal as Trudeau. I'm more towards the middle, right? Can't you have a guy in the middle? What's wrong with being in the middle? I've picked a side. I picked a side, but I'm in the middle. And that, when you point out to conservatives here that they're not really conservatives, if they're going around sleeping with many, many women, to test them out to see which one fits, if you know what I'm talking about, that's not part of the right wing conservative party. That's not part of it. No, what's part of it is moving to a Catholic country that fits, going to church on Sunday or even every day, as Mike. You see, you have to live the life that you're personifying, that you tell people you live. You transfer that. It becomes part of who you are throughout your entire life. It's part of who you are. But you can't play both sides and then have people respect you. You can't play both sides. You see, I mean, you can, but people are just going to look at you and they're going to think, "Oh, something wrong with this dude over here." But they're the people that are going to attack you. Why? Why? Because when they come up to you and they start wanting to say, "Hey, you know, Dan, I heard you're sleeping around with 20 or 30 women," which, by the way, I'm not. But if I were, my defense would be, "Yeah, but you know how I am. I'm a liberal." That's all I have to say. They cannot come and attack you. I've already laid it out there to them. I know, poor choice of word, laid it out. I've already told them I'm a liberal. I have liberal thinking, you know. So that's the way it is. That's just simply the way it is. Chris is, wow, that blows me away. So peeps can end up just living in a hospital forever until you die. Yeah, and then they'll want your relatives to pay the hospital bill before they release your body. So they'll take you down to the hospital morgue, and that's where you'll stink up the place until your family pays. So anyway, I know, I have wild ideas about things. You know, don't go telling people that you're conservative and that you want to try on many different pairs of shoes to see which one fits. That's not the conservative. Um, that's not that's not part of the philosophy. I know what I'm going to go where I'll be appreciated. I'm going to the Philippines. That's the most conservative country in the world. Oh my gosh. Dad is a sinner. I have sinned. But telling people you have sinned is only part of it. See? Yeah. I'm just at the Dan, don't do that again stage. And then I sin again. Dan, don't do that. That's not good. I have sinned. And then I go do it again. I can't be saved. Save me. Save me. If you want to pray for Dan, start praying now. I appreciate it. I love you for it. Mike is saying, Tobias, make sure you don't have lots of cash in the hospital. It may disappear. You may disappear. Yeah. And that's the next subject that I wanted to talk about. Right? Abkush Entertainment is here. Abkush Entertainment. How are you, Abkush Entertainment? In the middle, too, Tobias says, have been calm and independent. Yeah, and I feel more comfortable. I'm starting to become more comfortable. If someone were to come to me, where are you leaning? I believe in peace and freedom. There you go. And so there is a peace and freedom party, but even those guys can be not so nice to hang around with at times. And so I'm just comfortable being over here, being, a tiny bit left of center. I feel very comfortable. The best advice, according to Filipino Raquel, is to save money, to save your life here in the Philippines. Saving money will save your life. That needs to be on a t-shirt, dang it. Saving money will save your life. That needs to be on a t-shirt. So, God plan, says liberal. All right, hey, you didn't have, God plan is here. Hi, hey, welcome. I really enjoyed, God plan's perspective on things. And so I'm glad God plan is here. Girly Senna's here, another fan. Thanks for being a fan. And it's only 15, Dan. So we have 19 million people right now here. And so let's talk about something that happened. It's the expats you have to worry about, and so I'm starting to think about it more and more, because, when you're not hanging around, they can be very spirited in their characterization of you. And then they're talking in the room about you, and then all kind of weird stuff starts to happen. You start getting text messages and phone calls. Hey, Dan, they were talking about you again. Oh, really? Really? Do tell. I'm interested in what they had to say. And then usually my reaction's always the same. I just start laughing. Poor son of a bitch, he's not going to be happy until he's dead and buried in the ground. Hey, have you guys ever thought of this? Sometimes the only remedy to a problem is death. Not necessarily yours, but the person who's the critic. Oh, I know you're going to criticize me for wishing that somebody dies. Well, I've been known to do that on occasion, In fact, I've been known to, I've been known to say, so and so, time is on my side. Or is it? Nobody really knows, right? But hey, if I meet my demise, well, then, it was my turn to go. What can I say? It could be tomorrow. Like I said, it could be 10 years from now. I'm obsessed with death. But the whole thing is that they're going to die, and hopefully they'll die sooner than I am. That was my retort. That was my answer. Oh, they're criticizing me again. Well, it doesn't really matter. They're going to be dead soon anyway. I just start laughing to myself. Yeah, I know. The shocking part is I say it out loud. I shouldn't be doing that, right? That's what makes Dan weird. I sold my car, and my neighbor said, I see you got rid of the car. I told him I was moving to Phil's, and he looked at me like I was crazy, ignorant, peeps. Yeah, yeah, that's the reaction you're going to get. They're going to be, your neighbor's going to, oh, yeah, you know why he's going over there. He wants to have sex with, the story. No, no, no. Listen, I'm sure this is the type of stuff that went on when Minnie and I moved over here, but yeah, I'm not saying necessarily amongst my own family members. I'm just saying that I'm sure that coworkers and things like that, were. I had a gal who's now a supervisor one time come up to me and said, "Hey Dan, how does the whole Filipina thing work? Do you go over there and then you just offer some Filipina walking by in the street $5 to sleep with you?" And I guess she was waiting to see if I would be shocked at her statement, you know. But my answer to her was very simple. Look at this. Look what we got going on here. Really? Do you think that I really need to pay for it? That was my answer. And she had nothing to say. I just walked away from her. Look at this. Wouldn't you sleep with this guy right here? That was my answer to her. She never talked to me again. And that was what I wanted. I got the result that I wanted. Never come and talk to me again. And it worked. So, I mean, yeah, you can get things done. You don't have to be confrontational with people. They always want to come to you. As Mike says, yeah, I'm the same way. Ignorant people make me laugh. They haven't a clue. But yeah, let's talk about that a little bit more, because the rate we're talking about cost of living being the main reason when expats have been surveyed, when they do those surveys, and they answer, why did you move overseas? It's always going to be cheaper to live over here, cheaper to live over here. That's the number one reason. It's cheaper to live over here. And I think respect for the elderly is way high on the list also. But somewhere down there, I'm sure, if you're an honest expat, is, well, I want to hook up and find a young female partner or male partner, I don't know, that understands me, that understands me, that will love and care for me as much as I love and care for her. That's going to be on the list somewhere too. Mike is saying the first gay couple married in North America, one of them has passed away after being together over 50 years and married for over 20. Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember if I say I remember when they got married or when they 20 years ago, then I'm dating myself. Yeah. Anyway, you guys all know that I'm an old dude anyway. All right. Mostly Filipinos will save for birthdays, special occasions when someone's sick in the family. Yeah, it's everybody's problem, and everybody gets together and they figure out how to take care of business. The other problem is too, it is common here, but they have just big lechon the other day were 10K. That's a part that I don't quite understand. Is that I see this happening also, Filipino Raquel. And I'm not so quick to criticize it because I don't understand it. But when you're going to the gathering, and then they're talking about their parents being in the hospital and how they need dialysis, they're on their deathbed, and they need cancer treating drugs and this stuff. And then everybody's standing around. They've got $100. They got 5,000 pesos worth of beer sitting there. It's perplexing to me. They're having a big powwow about how to raise the money. And then I asked, well, how much money is needed? They said 5,000 pesos. I don't know. Listen, I'm not the one to judge nor to criticize because I don't understand that part of Filipino culture. So anyway, and nobody saves for a funeral. Yeah, but Minnie is different. We're gonna do a video on this. So Minnie actually went out and she bought the family plot, so that it's ready to go when the time comes. So she went out and she purchased. I don't know if it's paid for yet, but she went out and she purchased the plot, and we're ready to go. So they don't save for the funeral, but the plot of the being prepared for that is equally important. She's saying it's more about give me, give me, give me. Yeah, if I have it, I'm giving it. If I have it, I'm gonna give it. $5, not bad. Here's the thing that I did in the United States, because you think that this is just a Filipino thing, but it's not. So in the United States, it goes like this. Oftentimes people would come up to me and they would say, hey, Dan, I'm really, really in need. I got, of a payday loan. Can you help me out? Well, I figure it like this. You can get a payday loan anywhere in the Sacramento area. Here's your application, and your application is a mirror. Breathe on this. And you breathe on it, and if they could see the mirror's fogging up and you're not a vampire, they give you the loan. But I have a person coming up to me saying, hey, Dan, can you front me, $200 or $500 until payday? Well, I learned this a long time ago that, not to be the borrower or the lender. And so what I used to do is I used to roll up a $20 bill in my pocket. What's that? 1,000 pesos, right? So I'd roll it out. Before leaving for work, I would take the 20, off the my desk in the office. I'd throw it inside my pants pocket, right here in the front pocket where it's easy to grab, and where I knew it was there. And it never failed that someone would come up to me and they'd come to me and say, can you spot me $200 to $500 until payday? And I reach in my pocket and I give them the 20. I said, I don't have 500 or 200 on me, but I could spare this $20 bill and it's all yours. It's not a loan, it's a gift. And I'd hand it to them. And you know what? I never had a taker for it. They'd give it back to me and they'd say, Dan, thank you so much. You're so kind. But, it's not going to help me out of this jam. And then they'd walk away. And I'd still have a friend. I'd still have a friend at the end of the day. People say, why save for a funeral? What are they going to do? Bring you back to life to pay for it? And Larry says, Dan, you should have told you that they offer to pay you to sleep with them. Oh, yeah. They pay me. That would have been funnier. Yeah. But it had the same impact. They never bothered me again. That's why you'll never see me having big lechon. One day I'm going to buy you a big lechon. We're doing stuff the pig today, as a matter of fact. I got lechon baboy happening right here. And we're going to put money in that pig for the last week of November on one of those live streams. You still have to be present to win, but you'll be guessing how much money is in that pig. And then you know what? I decided that we'll be doing the video beforehand. We're gonna do the video beforehand. We're gonna dump this pig, the money in the pig, out on the bed, right? And then we're gonna count it, and then I'm gonna have the video in the can ready to go, so that when you guess, I'm gonna upload that video. When you guess how much money's in there, we're already gonna know, and I'm gonna upload the video simultaneously as you're making the guess, as you're guessing, or after you've guessed. All guessing as how much money is in the pig is over. And then once I say over, I upload the video. All the guesses are in. The one that's the closest is going to end up winning winning the Christmas cash from the piggy. Yeah. I want to move to the Philippines and hook up with many partners, but the wife says no. Yeah, your wife knows best, hey Joe, and so you ought to just listen to her, And I've met her; she's a nice gal. So what are you gonna do? She's a very nice woman. Let's see. God plan. I'm not moving from California. Yeah, there's some people that I couldn't get out of there fast enough. So there's that. And so I realized this. I realized that. But now most of my family does not live in California. Most of my family, they have moved out. Some of them were very smart and they moved out 20, 25 years ago. And I'm not saying you're not. There are reasons why you're there. And I could have stayed there myself. I had the house there. I had the house there. Everything was nice. I would have been fine in retirement. I would have not only been fine through retirement, but I would have been in a great spot during retirement. I'm one of the few people that I know whose income is the same as it was when he was working. I'm one of the few people that I know that I'm making exactly the same net money. Net money, we're talking after taxes, is in my pocket as when I was working. So what are you going to do? I could have stayed in California. I only had a $900 per month mortgage payment. Who has a $900 per month mortgage payment or rent payment in California? Nobody that I know. Not even the person that bought my house has that. They're paying $2,600 per month in a mortgage payment for the house they bought from me, where I was only paying $1,000 a month in rent. Dan, you were the best man for that wedding. Tim, I'm going to get you for that one. I'm going to get you for that one. Yeah, the kid actually, in the States, nobody's saving money. It doesn't. Filipino Raquel, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of spending the money once you get it. Just so you know. I only have saved money for these different things that we've been talking about because I have the money. But if I didn't, if I was just living like day to day, paycheck to paycheck, I wouldn't be thinking about putting 10% aside or 20% aside. I'll be thinking about how fast I could spend the money. That's the God's. I'm just being truthful with you, but I'm happy that you're saving money because that's what people need to be doing. It's very unusual. Listen, God plan. I love my time in San Diego, but I will never move back to California. Smart man. You see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. He's in the thick of it. The God plan is he's there in the thick of it. And I could have stayed there. But I'm married to a Filipina, and that helps a lot. That helps a lot. Honey, how about we try a few months in your country? Yeah, let's go. It was easy. It was an easy transition to make. Mike is saying, God plan, you may have no choice if God's plan slides California into the sea. Yeah, you would be the first to go, bro. A little California joke there for you. You would be the first to go because you're closest to the sea. Sacramento would have lagged behind. I would have been able to get in the car and I would have been able to make my way up the hill. But not if you're living in Alameda County, bro. It ain't gonna happen. Tobias is saying, Larry Lee, I never cared for Cali either. It's okay to visit, but not for me. Yeah, Disneyland is the best part of California, and it's not even fun anymore to go there. Filipino Raquel saying, very rare here to keep money on savings. It is more about showing what I got today. Yeah, show me what you got. And we're going to be doing that because we're going to be stuffing the pig, and I got money here ready to go, Charmaine is hanging in with us. This mentality should be removed and you should not be ashamed. You can't have a big party during the birthday celebration. I agree. Birthdays should be about the love and caring of the person, not about the celebration, the money that you spend, in celebrating that birthday. We don't even do it. Listen, this is a cultural conflict that Minnie and I have with each other. It drives her. I know it drives her absolutely crazy. If you were to ask her, she would tell you, that it drives her absolutely nuts. Because when it comes close to my birthday, I'm like, birthday set, we're not doing nothing. I don't want to think about turning another year older. It's one day. It's one day older. And so I don't celebrate. I don't celebrate birthdays. I don't think it's not important to me. It's not important to me personally. So I'm okay with what you're suggesting. I would encourage people to do that. But if you want to celebrate it, have a simple celebration. I'm sure we'll be doing a video soon of Minnie's birthday that's coming up. We'll probably have roasted pig, and the mayor will be here, and the barangay captain, and all the relatives, and everybody will be here. What can I do? What can I do? I'm stuck. I feel like a stuck pig. Oink, oink. People travel to different islands and travel to hospital, don't even have peso for the rides, would be a shame. That's right. Have some money for transportation, folks. Have a little money in your pocket, So anyway, my whole point about that is I still do it the same way. If someone comes up and asks for a peso or two, I give it to them. I said, hey, I've got a few pesos here. Here's for you. Dodger Blue saying pretty much the same group as you, Dan. My house is paid for, and I'm making as much retired as was working. There's nothing that's more comforting in the whole world to have that paid for house. But I'm telling you, you're a rarity. I have a good friend who's even this house in the Philippines is paid for. There's no such thing as a mortgage. Filipinos live life like Filipinos. Don't encumber yourself with house credit, home credit, credit cards, and a mortgage. Don't fall into that trap. You will be sorry. Every penny that you thought you had in your hand is going to go to paying interest to the money collectors. I have a friend who's got like a year and a half, and his house will be paid for, and he'll have 100% of his retirement. So that's 40 years is how long it takes to get 100%. 40 years, you get 100% payment, same amount of money as when you're working, and his house is paid for. He's going to have a sweet retirement. I keep joking with him, saying, don't get hit by a truck. Keep your head on a swivel. Do not get hit by a truck. When working hard for your money, you deserve to spend it when you have for pleasure. That's true. The big issue here is salaries are not enough. Yeah, and they're working on that. Really, the budget is increased for social welfare services. You probably know this, Filipino Raquel. It's a huge increase, and I'm happy to see that happen here in the Philippines, and that may serve to help alleviate some of the struggles here in the Philippines. But they definitely need to raise, rates a little bit. They need those to float a little bit, and so I'm a fan of that. But here in the States, I'm going to tell you, I'm pro labor, and so but. Here's the thing. A lot of people are being critical about what a UPS driver, that's United Parcel Service in the U.S., is now going to get for full-time work. They just negotiated a contract where they're going to be getting $170,000 per year. But I'm telling people, that's nice work if you can get it. But here's the caveat that a lot of people don't consider. A lot of people are going to be laid off in order to pay for that. Because you think they're going to let their profits are already suffering, but that's because people aren't buying anything. But do you think that they're going to allow that to eat into their profits and return shareholder value? That isn't going to happen. And so the big plan on the table is we have to pay for this some way. And so how do you do it? The same way they did it. You do it on the backs of labor. And so this is the slippery slope involved with the Teamsters in that contract. And so I full well expect that tens of thousands of UPS workers will no longer have a job even a couple of months before Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. You guys did a great job negotiating that contract. I'm happy for those of you who survived. But the truth of the matter is, many of you will not. You'll be out there humping. You'll be out there on the pavement trying to figure out what you're going to be doing in order to get bread on the table for Christmas season. That's just an economic fact. You know, you think money comes out of thin air. It does not come out of thin air. You have to work for it. If it's not coming out of your employer's pocket, it's coming out of your brother's pocket, your neighbor's pocket, your friend's pocket, your kid's pocket. It's coming out of somebody's pocket. So did I miss the credit rating question? Do they have credit ratings there like they do in the States? They have what's developing. That was one of the topics on one of the live streams. If I didn't clarify that, social media, Facebook is going to become the credit rating system. PayPal is going to become the new credit rating system. And so basically you're going to earn social credits, and that's going to reflect on your credit rating, the same way that or a similar fashion that is occurring in China. So you're going to be judged by a whole bunch of stuff. Do you show up to church on Sunday? Are you paying your bills on time? Do you do the good works of humankind? All of those things will be taken into consideration, and then you'll be rated based on that. And so yes, it's going to be more comprehensive than anything that we got going on in the US of A. Hey, Joe is saying still 160 on my house and 50K for solar until I sell it. Whoa, 50K buys a lot of electricity, bro. That's all I have to say about that. Every time they came by and they started talking to me about that, that's my answer to them. How much is that system? Well, that'll buy a lot of electricity. Can you come see me in 20 years? We'll talk about it again. I'd kill myself. No, let me see here. Plus Monday, everybody. Blue shirt looks good on you. Yeah, it makes me look skinnier, doesn't it? No, I have Beauty Cam is activated. Beauty Cam is activated. So, okay, so now let's do this. Let's stuff the pig, okay? Because I'm looking at this piggy over. We're going to draw, too. We're going to draw. Anyway, I got a whole bunch more to say. Like, let me do this. Let me do my last thing that was on my mind. It's not the last thing. My mind is I'm full up. I'm full up to here with a whole bunch of crap because I've been swallowing so much crap the majority of my life. What's a person to do? I got to dump it out. Thanks so much for honoring me by being here and listening to the crap that I have to spew. But remember, do not try anything that Dan says at home because he's full of crap. So don't do it. I want to talk about two more things, as a matter of fact. Let me pull them up on my phone. It's going to be really quick. It won't be pain and suffering. There won't be a test at the end of this live stream. There will not be a test. I want to share two things with you. This is horrific. One of them is horrific. Let's talk about this story first. A British foreigner was ambushed in Sitio Panilahan, Makubag. Some of you have already seen this. Dodger Blue saying the mustache will always be overload in the beauty camp. Yes, I'm the next Filipino Magnum PI. It seems like it is not a robbery because he had no money to bring. It's a pity. Rest in peace. And then as they do, so this is just up the road from us. Tim Dizak, this is just right up the road from us. This British foreigner was ambushed, and it was an assassination. There's no other way to describe it when you look at the pictures. So he was driving down the main highway here on his way to Ormoc. I think he lives in Bunga. So some of you, you're on the island here. You know what I'm talking about because this has been, may you rest in peace. This has been spread all over the internet. And so the tandem bike comes by, and he gets shot right through the driver's side window, and it hits the ventricle just perfectly, and blows his heart up, and he's gone forever from this world. May he rest in peace, folks. Folks, I'm telling you, please be aware of your surroundings. Everybody should constantly have their head spinning around. If I saw the tandem bike, if I saw the tandem bike dressed as they do, two male figures riding in tandem with the COVID mask and the helmets, where both are wearing the helmet. This is key. Both are wearing the helmet. Both are wearing the mask, helmet. Both of them in tandem on the bike. You hit them before they hit you. I'm telling you, do not allow your life to be lost when it could have been prevented, because all you had to do was look in that rearview mirror and you could have seen them coming. And so this is one of the reasons why you won't see me walking around in a whole bunch of festivals and things like that. I'll rarely attend. And the reason is because I'm concerned for my own safety, because some people, one, if you haven't pissed somebody off, and it looks like this guy did, right? If you hadn't pissed off somebody like a local official who sends the hit squad after you, you know, you've pissed off one of the locals. If you pissed off one of the locals, you're, I'm telling you, don't do it. You can't come over here thinking this is the United States of America. You can't come over here thinking this is your country, or this is Britain, or Australia, or New Zealand, or Norway, or you have to respect the local rules and cultural norms of the Philippines. Because if you don't, you're going to end up dead. And so the story is going to be the same on this guy, I'm sure. You know, I'm sure the story is going to turn out to have something to do with his local behavior there. You know, with the locals was less than stellar. And the other way you go is people get an idea that you're filthy rich, and partly because you tell them that you are. I have to think about that a little bit. And the other reason is because you flaunt a little bit too much of your wealth, or they came to you in a time of need, and that you rejected them, and you did it in a way that caused them not. You didn't take the face saving way of doing it. All those things will get you not on the Christmas wish list, not on the Christmas niceties list. I think they call it a Christmas card list. All that stuff can result in you being dead. And unfortunately, this is what happened. If you look at the whole thing, you see where this guy is wounded. It was a perfect shot. You know, so he was driving like this down the road in his car, and he got hit. So both hands must have been on the wheel, because I could see where the bullet entry and exit wound is. It just went right there, caught him perfectly, and he is now deceased. May he rest in peace. LV, LV, LV. All right, one more thing. So one more thing I want to talk about. Folks, before you go around sending, no one in here, by the way, let's see, I'm cleaning on my Facebook pictures. Oh, Minnie has announced she's cleaning up her Facebook page. All right. Nothing personal. Don't take it personal from Minnie. All right, now here's the other thing. Folks, that whole thing, can you please, before you send out that little blue thing that says Social Security and Medicare is not an entitlement, I paid for it. Listen, before you send that out, please go and look at the dictionary definition of entitlement program, you know, and then you will conclude that, yes, it is an entitlement program. And entitlement, the word entitlement does not mean free. That is not part of the definition of entitlement. It does not mean that you didn't pay for something. You're entitled to receive the money because you paid for it. So if you're one of the ones spewing that all over the internet, you're making a fool out of yourself because everybody knows that Social Security and Medicare are an entitlement program that you pay for. They're an entitlement program because you pay for them. It's a complete opposite. So how people thought, how they got mixed up in this thing, I have no idea. But they're intelligent people spreading this garbage. Go look up the word first and what it represents, and you're going to discover, yes, an entitlement program is a program in which you pay for, and then you get the return back from it. If all of a sudden Social Security and Medicare called you up and they said to you, "Hey, we're not paying you anymore," the first words out of your mouth would be, "Hey, what are you talking about? I paid for it. I'm entitled to receive it." Huh? Got you. Got you. I got you in your stupid ass. Go learn the word of entitlement. Quit sending me this crap in my messenger. The person that sent this to me, they're not in here. Don't get the idea I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. Don't get the idea I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. Oh, we have to do, we're going to do this in a minute, man, Minnie. Everybody knows you're cleaning up your Facebook page now, though. Now, we got the piggy, right? Now, I got the piggy, and we're stuffing the pig. See? Oink, 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 oink. This is the Christmas pig. Dan, if you have an hour and a half to spare, watch the video for Atwater stand-up. Crazy guy on drugs. In stand-up with police. Very graphic. I will do that. That sounds like something that would be fun to watch. Yeah, especially if the guy gets shot and killed. I got a little bit of money. So now, no, this little bit of money here, you see this? This isn't the last of the money that's going to be put in there. The reason why I'm doing it this way is because you'll have a better than equal opportunity to guess how much money is being stuffed in this here piggy. All right, so now here's the pig. Now I'm putting a bill in here. Now, many criticizing a little bit, saying that you're putting bills in there too. Am I not supposed to? That's the question I have. Am I not supposed to? Does it have to be just coin, coin, coin? That's no fun. I want you to have a harder time guessing how much money is going into the pig. Oh, by the way, you see the pig slot? The pig slot here is a little bit bigger than the other one, but we still have to hone that out a little bit to make sure that it has a big enough opening for all the money, all the pesos that are going to be poured into this. By the way, the peso rate is 56.58, and it's starting to scare me a little bit. All right, here's what's going in there. No, I'm not showing you the denomination. I'm not showing you the denomination, so you'll have a better guess later as to how much money is going in here, right? There, the pig has been stuffed with that bill. Now, why is the pig slot bigger, Dan? Because I'll be putting a lot more money in there. Yeah. So, you hear that? You hear that? You hear that? You don't know what that is. You don't know if I'm putting, you don't know if those are peso coin, 20 peso coin. There you go. There you go. So there, we did it. We'll be putting a little bit in there. Dan will. In every live stream, we're going to be putting a little bit in there. Now, it's time to do the drawing. Ma'am Minnie, are you here to draw? Or do I have to draw myself? 90 just went in. Oh, my goodness gracious. Ma'am Minnie, are you here? Let me bring up the list. I found the short list I got sitting in front of me. Here she is. She wants to come by and say hello. People wanting to know why you're cleaning up your Facebook page.
Good morning, guys.
Over here.
Good morning,
Ma'am Minnie, are you cleaning up your Facebook page? You're cleaning up your Facebook page? Yeah.
Pepper here.
I guess she's not going to tell us whether she's cleaning up her Facebook page. It says, "Good morning, world."
It's okay, only my face in there. Important.
Oh, okay. Right here.
So what? Then
So, Ma'am Minnie's getting mad. She's getting offended. So you
No.
guys,
there's a lot of junk in there.
there's a lot of junk in there. That's her. So that's the answer. Wait. Don't do it yet. Wife says, "Hello, Ma'am Minnie." Says,
Hi, Daddy.
yeah, Dodger Blues here.
Good
Tim
morning.
Deziak. They're all saying hi.
Hello, sir. Tim.
All right. So let me pull up this list here. I got a list here. I got my list. All right. I believe I'm ready to go. Let me get a little bit better view of this list. Yeah. The way I do business here is pathetic. The way I try and conduct business here is pathetic. All right. I'm surprised anybody here puts up with me. All right. 21 million people in the house must be present to win. Dan's shaking it up. Close your eyes. Go ahead and draw one. All right. The number is 76. So who's number 76? Who is number 6? 76 is Mildred Belangai. 76. Call out going once. I don't know if Mildred is here or not. I didn't see her. Mildred Belangai. Second call. Filipino Raquel saying hi. Mildred Belangai. Third call. I forgot to tell them it's for 200 pesos. Mildred Belangai. Fourth call. All right, we're going to go final call for Mildred, number 76, and we'll draw again. Number. You have a number in here. Yes, you do. Filipino Raquel, you do. Mildred Belangai. Final call. No, you're in here. Wait. Make a love shout out. Mildred. Wait, is Mildred here and I missed it? Is Mildred here? Someone say yes, no, hooray.
Where are you?
All right,
Are you there?
let's go pull another one. Mildred, she's here sometimes, right? She's here. All right, we're going to pull another number. Next one. All right, she's not here, sir. Okay. Mammy pulled out another number. Oh, this is a good one. I like this one. Number 37. Number 37. I got to go look for it. Number 37. Number 37 is Irene and Irish. Irene and Irish going once. Number 37. Irene and Irish going twice. Yeah, she's probably busy this time of the morning. She is. Irene and Irish going 3 times. Irene and Irish going 4 times. Because her number's been called before. Irene and Irish, final call. Number 5, not here. Okay, Irene and Irish, not here. Who says congratulations? Larry Lee. I don't see her. People are saying. Oh, wait, she is here. So there was a delay. One of you must have called her and let her know that she had won. Irene and Irish is today's winner. Winner, chicken dinner. Yay, congratulations, Irene and Irish. And we're going to be, Irene and Irish, can you, I know I have your Gcash number in here. Man Minnie says thanks. Have a nice day, everybody. She goes, yeah. You could tell that Man Minnie is preoccupied with something. I don't know what it is. I'll find out later what it is. I heard a lot of talking going on out there in the kitchen. You know, I was about ready to say, "Hey, can you guys quiet it down? They're going to record your conversation. I'm going to end up getting in trouble." So here's the thing. So Irene and Irish, you have my instant message or my messenger private message. Send me a hello. Give me the number so I don't have to look it up, and then I will send that off to you. Yeah, you missed out by mere minutes this time, Mildred. I think this is the second time, Mildred, that your number has been called. So, um, Irene and Irish, if you can message me, if you could PM me with that number, and then it'll make it easy, so I don't have to look it up and send it your way. There's a whole bunch of more stuff that I want to talk about today, guys. But I'm letting everybody off the hook. No exam today. Everybody who joined me, I want to thank you. Those that are watching in the background, thank you so much for being here. God Plan, thank you so much. I really appreciate you honoring me by being here. And we'll see everybody on the next live. Be good. Bye bye. We're out.